In this entire course, we're going to go deep into the idea of coaching problem solving. So problem solving is a skill which we'll cover in other courses, but in this course, it's really about how to coach problem solving. Now in this first video, we really want to cover why coaching. Now, coaching is an easy word to use, we throw it around quite often, but for problem solving, why is it so important? There's some essential understanding about why we could choose training as an option or give people a better tool set, give them better templates, just hire experts who can do problem solving. There's plenty of ways we can solve this problem around problem solving. Why is coaching really the area to invest heavily and focus our energies for building problem solving capability in our organization? So I think it really comes down to purpose. Purpose of what is the meaning of the engagement, that coaching really sets around a different purpose that makes it so effective. So as an example, I want to go back to my soccer coaching. I use these examples quite often because they're easy to explain. When I'm coaching soccer in a game, I might see a player standing in the wrong spot. Maybe they're too wide or too high or not aligned to their teammates, or sometimes just they should be anywhere but the place that they're standing. In those moments, I actually have three choices, and each one really illustrates what my purpose is of that decision. So one choice is to tell them where to be, get them in the right spot as quickly as possible, correct the problem. Now in that case, my purpose is to win the game. I am trying to correct the problem on the field in my system of work and make sure that we don't have a negative impact from that issue. That is my purpose, and therefore that's the right action if that's my purpose. Now, I could go another step. Another choice is to tell them where to be and tell them why. Now, in this moment, it takes a little extra effort, but I've become a teacher. My focus is on imparting knowledge, but to be clear, it's imparting knowledge of how I want them to play, imparting knowledge of my system of work, imparting knowledge of what I want them to do. And so that's great. I've told them what to do, I've fixed the problem, I've taught them why, and I've helped them understand what I want them to understand. But then there's a third choice. I can call out to the player and ask them the question, where should you be? I give them the opportunity to adjust, to fix their own problem, and to see what the consequences are. Whether they fix it right or fix it wrong, they get to see what happens. And then when they come off the field, whether it's a halftime, end of the game, or a substitution, I can help them reflect on, okay, why do you think I asked you that? What did you learn? What actually happened? And I can help them reflect on their own experience. In this point, and only this point, was I truly the coach. Because I was helping them self-discover, helping them internalize the knowledge that they created, not that I just handed to them. Because they've earned that knowledge for themselves, it has a far more lasting impact. And it gives them the muscle tissue of knowledge to be flexible in a range of situations. And that's really what we find in problem solving. You're never in the same situation twice. Every problem is different. And yet, so many of them have some of the same characteristics. So we have to help people self-discover the muscle tissue, the memory, the important aspects of problem solving so that they can internalize it and be able to use that code as they deal with all the situations that they're going to face as they follow that coaching. So you might use that example to understand that, of course, coaching might be better for all things. But I think there's some aspects about problem solving that make it particularly important to get coaching as a cornerstone of what we're trying to do. So the first reason is that problem solving is dynamic. Yes, there's templates, there's tools, but there's no recipe. There are many forks in the road, and you have to develop some intuition about, am I trying to solve a large problem or really a small one? Am I trying to solve it permanently or solve the symptom of it? There's so many decisions that we have to make, and that intuition that help us make those decisions, that navigate those forks in the road of problem solving, can only be developed as internal muscle, internal memory. And so you can't just teach it. There's no algorithm that you just give somebody and teach them the recipe, because there is no recipe. So problem solving being dynamic is why coaching is so much better. The second, problem solving takes repetitions to master. So often I see time after time people running problem solving classes. And there's nothing wrong with that inherently, but that's the extent of the investment. And so if you learn problem solving, you might try to solve one problem inside the class. Maybe you get to solve one more right afterwards, but you've barely begun building skill, building perspective, building the dynamic ability to adjust on the fly. For that requires repetitions. And so having the coaching to be able to help people navigate from one iteration to the next, from one swing of the bat to the next, is super important. And so when any organization develops a problem-solving class, my next question is, where's the coaching capacity to support them when they're done? Because most people leave problem-solving class not even feeling competent, let alone being able to be successful each time they go forward. So taking those repetitions to master problem solving is another reason that coaching is so important. And the third is that problem solving is personal. Training is great because it's efficient. You can put 30 people in a room or 1,000 people on a video and get the information across, just like we are here. And that information, of course, can help people learn what they need. But learning problem solving is so much more personal than many other things. The reason is that we've been doing it since we're young. We have many habits, many biases and perspectives that help us affect how we think about problem solving. And we've been doing it so long, and it's considered so human, that it requires an awful lot of personal adjustments to really become effective. I found this quote from John Shook in Art Smalley's book, 4 Types of Problem Solving, that I just thought was so perfect for this point. Problem solving may be the most fundamental of human activities. Human. We breathe, we eat, we sleep. Breathing and sleeping just happen. Then we get hungry or we might get cold. Those are our first problems to solve. How to find something to eat or how to stay warm. Solving problems is how we learned to think. Right? To be human, quite literally, is to solve problems. How to solve problems effectively is fundamental to the reality of our daily existence. So just think about that, right? To be human is quite literally to solve problems, means that we have to change who we are, not just learn a skill. And to truly immerse ourselves into becoming masters of problem solving means that the course from where we are to where we want to be is often a unique course. And so training can't navigate that, but coaching can. Coaching can help us navigate our own personal learning journey. And that's why coaching is so fundamental as part of mastering problem solving. To add a fourth and final point around why coaching is that coaching problem solving benefits both parties. I believe that you actually learn more about problem solving being a coach than you do being coached. I've had the benefit, a great pleasure of coaching more problems than I've had the opportunity to solve. And I've been on both sides. I've been coached, I've been solo, and I've coached others, I've coached teams. And I learned so much as long as I take a learning approach to coaching, which we'll cover in a future video, that I think I learned far more from my coaching than I have from my doing. And so organizationally, when you invest in coaching problem solving, you actually learn quite a bit and build an awful lot of capability and muscle. What's interesting, I think, about problem solving is it's not about imparting expertise. It's about a process of helping that person discover. And so you don't even have to know more about problem solving than that person to be an effective coach. More so, you need to be effective problem solving coach. And that's not about expertise. It's about perspective. It's about knowing what matters. And we'll talk about that in terms of a structure that allows both the coach and the coachee to really learn together in independent but connected learning cycles. So take coaching seriously in problem solving. If you don't know who the coaches are in your organization, then you have a gap to close, because this is one of the absolute keys to success.